Hello, fellow chess enthusiasts. Many beginners often struggle with the scholar's mate. In this video, I will show you how to counter and punish the scholar's mate to secure a winning position. But wait, there's more. I've got an intriguing chess puzzle waiting for all of you. Be sure to stick around until the end to enjoy the complete experience. Let's get started. Typically, the game starts with e4-e5, and white often moves the queen to h5, adopting an aggressive stance to target the e5 pawn and exert pressure on the f7 pawn. Beginners tend to make a common mistake in this position by trying to quickly move the queen away. They may either push the pawn to g6 or advance the knight to f6 to dislodge the queen. However, both responses are ineffective. For example, if the pawn is advanced to g6, the opposing queen can capture the pawn, simultaneously threatening the rook and the king. If we attempt to defend by blocking with a knight, the queen can easily capture the rook. If we choose to use the knight to attack the queen can still capture the free pawn, putting the king in jeopardy. In this position, the optimal move would be knight to c6, both protecting the pawn and facilitating knight development. Now, the strategic decision to move the bishop to c4 is significant. This move aligns with a classic structure known as the scholar's mate, where the queen and bishop target the vulnerable f7 pawn. The queen can swiftly move to f7 for checkmate in the subsequent move. A common error made by chess novices at this point is moving the knight to f6, intending to attack the queen. However, this allows white to execute a checkmate by moving the queen to f7, resulting in a loss for the opposing side. Instead of advancing the knight to f6, a better approach is to focus on protecting the vulnerable f7 pawn or blocking the threatening queen. Some inexperienced players might consider moving the queen to f6 or e7, but this isn't recommended as it hinders the development of the knight or bishop, making it challenging to advance pieces. A more effective move would be pushing the pawn to g6, forcing white to relocate the queen promptly. Typically, white will retreat the queen to f3 to maintain pressure on f7 and set up potential threats. In response, we can opt to develop our knight to f6, prioritizing piece development and delaying an early queen trade that might lead to a drawn position. White now has two main attacking ideas: either moving the queen to b3 to facilitate a bishop check on f7 in the subsequent move, or pushing the pawn to g4 to prepare an attack on g5. If white chooses to advance the queen to b3 to attack our pawn, the optimal move is not to protect the f7 pawn directly. Instead, we can focus on further development by moving the knight to d4 to attack the queen. If white persists with the check, we can respond by moving our king to e7, maintaining a strategic position. In this scenario, our knight is maintaining pressure on the white queen. The queen's priority is to protect the bishop while ensuring her own safety, leaving only the option to retreat to c4. At this juncture, we can execute a strong attacking move by advancing the pawn to b5, directly threatening the queen. Unfortunately for white, there are no favorable squares for the queen to move to. If the queen attempts a check, our king can capture the vulnerable bishop, gaining material. Alternatively, if white becomes overly ambitious and captures our e5 pawn, our knight can make a decisive move to c2, delivering a check and simultaneously attacking the rook. This advantageous position sets us up for a potential victory. Returning to the previous position, if white chooses not to move the queen to b3, but instead pushes the pawn to g4, caution is warranted. Random moves are not advisable, as they can expose our pieces to potential threats. For instance, simply developing our bishop can be risky, as the pawn can attack the knight, leaving the knight with limited moves due to the looming queen checkmate threat. In this critical position, we have a powerful move at our disposal, moving the knight to d4. This move prevents the white queen from capturing the knight, as our queen is protecting it. If the white queen relocates to another square, such as d3, our knight can seize the opportunity to capture the g4 pawn. In response, white may opt to protect the g4 pawn by moving the queen back to d1. Subsequently, a strong move for us is advancing our pawn to d5. If white chooses to capture our pawn, we can then move our bishop to g4, attacking the queen. White may attempt to block with either the knight or bishop, but these moves are typically passive. However, the most potent move for white in this situation is pushing the pawn to f3. In this case, we don't need to retreat our bishop. Instead, we can advance our knight to e4, allowing the queen to maneuver to h4, setting up a potential checkmate threat. For instance, if the pawn captures g4, the queen can move to h4, resulting in a checkmate opportunity after the king's move. Now, it's time for a puzzle. In the given position, it's white's turn, and you need to find the best move for white. Share your answers in the comments, and let's see how many of you can solve it correctly. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with future videos. Take a moment to check out the other videos appearing on your screen right now. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care and peace.